Ethan and Sophia stood in the heart of the ancient chamber, their breath catching in their throats. The air hung heavy and damp, thick with the scent of time and forgotten secrets. Dust motes danced in the beam of Sophia's flashlight, illuminating walls adorned with intricate carvings. The chamber was a labyrinth of shadows and whispers, a testament to a history long buried.
Hand trembling. Look at this, it's incredible.
Sophia's hand trembled as she reached out to touch the cold, rough surface of a stone tablet resting on a pedestal in the center of the chamber. It was rectangular, its edges worn smooth by centuries of time. The stone itself was a deep, rich obsidian, its surface polished to a mirror sheen. Strange symbols, unlike anything she had ever seen before, were etched into its surface. The tablet hummed with an almost imperceptible energy, sending shivers down Sophia's spine. The symbols seemed to writhe and shift under her touch, as if alive with some ancient power. Intricate lines intertwined with swirling patterns, forming a language both beautiful and utterly alien. She traced the symbols with her fingertips, feeling a strange pull, a connection to something far beyond her understanding.
This is incredible. These symbols, I've never seen anything like them. Look there, those almost resemble ancient Sumerian cuneiform, but the rest, it's like nothing I've ever encountered.
Ethan leaned closer, his brow furrowed in concentration. The tablet was a puzzle box of languages, a tapestry woven from the threads of forgotten civilizations. Alongside the Sumerian cuneiform, they identified fragments of Akkadian, Egyptian hieroglyphs, and even what appeared to be ancient Chinese script. The sheer age and complexity of the tablet was staggering.
What does it mean?
Sophia whispered, her voice barely audible above the pounding of her heart. She felt an unnerving sense of urgency, a primal instinct screaming at her to decipher the tablet's secrets. It was as if the very air in the chamber thrummed with the weight of untold history, of knowledge lost and found. Ethan's eyes narrowed as he studied the tablet, his mind racing.
I think this is a map to something hidden, something powerful. This looks like a representation of the constellations, but not ones I recognize. And these markings...
He pointed to a series of symbols that seemed to form a spiral pattern. He trailed off, his words catching in his throat. The ground beneath their feet rumbled ominously, sending a tremor through the chamber. Dust rained down from the ceiling, and a cold draft snaked through the darkness, carrying with it the faint echo of approaching footsteps.
My blood ran cold. We were not alone. Someone or something was down here with us.
The tremor intensified, and the sound of footsteps grew louder, echoing through the maze of tunnels that surrounded them. Fear, sharp and cold, clawed at the edges of her mind.
We need to go.
Ethan hissed, his voice urgent. He grabbed Sophia's hand, his grip surprisingly strong.
Now!
He pulled her away from the tablet, towards a narrow passageway that snaked off into the darkness. The footsteps were getting closer, accompanied by the clinking of metal and the guttural murmur of voices. They were being hunted. As they ran, the echoing footsteps seemed to multiply, surrounding them with an invisible net of pursuit. The air grew thick with the smell of damp earth and something else, something ancient and vaguely metallic.
Panic tightened its grip on my chest, making it hard to breathe.
A voice boomed through the darkness, echoing off the stone walls. It was deep and guttural, speaking in a language that sent shivers down Sophia's spine. She couldn't understand the words, but the tone was unmistakable, a threat.
Come on, Sophia, we have to keep moving.
Ethan tightened his grip on her hand, urging her forward. The passageway opened into a vast cavern, the flickering flames of torches casting long, dancing shadows on the walls. The air was heavy with the scent of incense and something else, something metallic and cloying.
Look, over there, in the center of the cavern.
In the center of the cavern, a group of figures stood huddled around a flickering brazier. They were robed and hooded, their faces obscured by the shadows.
Who are they? What are they doing?
As Ethan and Sophia watched, one of the figures turned, the light from the brazier catching their face for a fleeting moment. It was a face etched with age and cruelty, a face that seemed to radiate power and menace. The hooded figures turned towards them in unison, their movements eerily synchronized. The echoing voice boomed again, closer this time, laced with a chilling amusement.
My heart pounded against my ribs, a frantic drumbeat against the silence.
Ethan pulled Sophia towards a narrow crevice in the cavern wall, his eyes scanning their surroundings for an escape. The hooded figures were closing in, their footsteps echoing like thunder through the cavern.
Quick, this way. We have to find a way out.
They were trapped. Sophia's breath hitched in her throat as the first of the hooded figures reached the crevice. His eyes, dark and piercing, met hers for a moment, sending a jolt of fear through her. He reached for her, his hand bony and gnarled, the air thick with the scent of incense and something else, something cold and metallic.
No, please!
Sophia squeezed her eyes shut, bracing for the inevitable. The footsteps were right behind them now, their pursuers closing in. There was nowhere left to run, nowhere left to hide.
We can't give up, Sophia. We have to keep fighting.
They were trapped, and the ancient secrets they had unearthed were about to be buried once more, lost in the darkness of the cavern, along with Ethan and Sophia.